No,
here.
this way.
Oh, this
And
time.
they're
And
going
the
that
other
way.
team are going that way.
Oh, they have come, I think. I think they've come.
No, they're not doing Temple the other side.
And they're doing temple gardens as well.
You're that team, yeah.
It's the other team.
What?
You're going down, Connor. You're going down there.
Yeah.
We're going this way.
But you were with Connor's team, weren't you?
Sure, kind of know you all, you know.
I know.
All the college
Made many
friends.
new friends.
Oh, stop. A ton of new friends. Half my age.
Now we're going left or right?
Yeah,
We're going
right.
left and we'll go on this side.
Yeah, we're going right. And we're coming back up, are we?
Yeah, we'll
Oh,
come
but we're
back.
doing the
We'll do
road.
this side. We'll go down this side and in.
Now, off we go. She's coming.
No, it's just
Thank you so much. Okay, no problem. This one here. Keep away from it. Right. Thanks a million. Can I leave you with that? Oh, God. Thanks a million. Good night. Vera.
Oh, I love making museums. So we're here today outside our home, protesting a culture fund eviction. We're protesting this eviction because we value ourselves, we value our community, and we want to fight to stay in our community, and we want to fight for a contented life without being pushed around from house to house constantly by property speculation.
And can I ask you, how did he, because you guys are the tenants, how did he first hear about you were going to be evicted?
We had to push for information. We kept getting suspicious letters arriving for our landlord, and the landlord took those letters and didn't tell us the contents of them, so we had to piece together the information. We looked up the land registry and found out that he actually didn't own the property anymore, and that's when we had to reach out to investigate ourselves. We had to fight for the information ourselves.
So he didn't own the property, but you were still paying rent?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He's frauded us. He's frauded us for the past 4 or 5 years.
And what's going to happen now?
We don't know. There's a court case today. We're waiting to hear the outcome of it. We're trying to stay in contact with the law firm who are dealing with the case. Up to this point, they've been very unresponsive. We hope that changes.
So the landlord is in court today? Or the guy who claims he's the landlord?
Yeah.
Okay, so who actually owns the house then?
So according to the land registry, a vulture fund called Finsbury Circle Nominee owns the house.
What are they called?
Finsbury Circle Nominee.
Okay, cool. And when did it change hands or whatever, do you know?
Again, the land registry isn't necessarily accurate because there's delays in processing, but it looks like it was around 2014. Is that right? 2014 to 2015?
Yeah, I mean, on like Catchy's behalf, we're here, the tenants here are members, we're here supporting you. And yeah, it's really good to have these numbers out and stuff. We don't know exactly what's happening today with court case and stuff, but that everyone shows up, that we show that we're here and ready to defend each other in these sorts of situations is really, really important. So is there any updates in terms of the court case and stuff, or next steps at all?
Check to see.
Yeah, no worries.
It's all in real time.
Put you under pressure.
Happening live.
So our housemate Alice went to court today to observe what happened. Obviously, despite being a legal notice party, we weren't notified of the proceedings, so we were lucky to find out that this court case was happening. He's gone as a member of the public to observe the court case. The law firm dealing with the eviction did not show up to the court case, and the landlord in question also did not show up to the court case. A representative on his behalf showed up. The court case has been delayed until April the 7th, at which point the judge has pretty much said that the enforcement order will go ahead and the enforcement will be enacted on. We can only hope that we get a chance to speak to the law firm handling this case, and that they will deal with us with dignity and reasonableness, and we are more than happy to cooperate with them on that, but we do expect reasonableness and fairness and dignity.
Tenants united.
Will never be defeated. The tenants united. Will never be defeated. The tenants united. Will never be defeated. The tenants united. Will never be defeated. The tenants united. Will never be defeated. The tenants united. Will never be defeated.
Increasing pension age to 67 at the start of next year.
For those who aren't contractually required to retire before 67, we think that policy should continue. It was supported by all parties, and it makes sense on a sustainability basis. You know, the way pensions work is that we pay money into the pension fund, and out of the pension fund, social insurance fund, that's how we pay for pensions. It is in surplus now, but we know because of the fact that our population is aging that we have better life expectancy, which is a good thing. It is going to go to deficit in the years ahead, and if we don't act now, it'll create a big problem in the future. Look what's happening in France, for example, where they're going from 62 to 67 in 5 years, and that's because they didn't act early enough. So stitching time saves 9, and I think certainly for people in their 30s, 40s, 50s and early 60s, actually making this change is to their advantage, but we accept that there are anomalies.
Other parties are proposing, Sinn Féin are proposing to bring it back to 65. I think the Labour Party wants to leave it at 66.
So Ruth Coppinger, and I'm a Solidarity TD currently running for re-election in Dublin West. Today we were highlighting the scandalous situation of the pension age being increased, from 65 and planned to go to 68. It seems a lot of people are only finding out about this, and when in actual fact it happened 9 years ago that it was being brought in, first of all by Fianna Fáil and the Greens, and then implemented by Joan Burton for Labour and also Fine Gael. So we think it's very good that it is re-emerging as a major issue in the election, and we'd encourage people to keep doing that. We say it should revert back to 65. The trade union leadership unfortunately didn't say anything about this when it happened. As we've seen in France lately, that was the way that the attack on the pensions was reversed. There was through protest being organised against Macron. So make this a major issue in the election, and I've given a commitment that I will fight with people in the community, with the elderly, with workers working and retired to get this reversed.
Cool. One of your major issues a few years ago was to repeal the 8th. That obviously happened, 2 years ago. What are you for the other issues, apart from the pension thing, or the main thing for 2020?
Well, actually, I am highlighting the huge unfinished business that there is for women's rights in this country. So we had repeal, which was a historic victory that was led by young people and women. It was forced onto the political agenda for a whole number of years against a very conservative establishment.
And we're in the second last week of the election. How's it going for you so far?
Yeah, I mean,
what's the vibe on doors and stuff?
We're getting a very good response, but there is obviously a national, surge towards Sinn Féin and the Greens from, different angles. People are looking for action on climate change, and also people are hoping for a change in government. And what we're saying is that we could get squeezed by that, actually. My seat is at risk if people don't, because people tend to think, be complacent about it. But actually I need to fight with people that at the end of the day it'll be a Fianna Fáil or a Fine Gael led government, and you need somebody there who'll hold them to account, who'll be a strong, uncompromising voice and working with communities.
I'm protesting because Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael are just full of corruption. Every time you turn the television on and read the newspaper, they're just fiddling taxpayers' money for everything. And they're treating the people as if they were nothing.
That's really good. And why do you feel you have to be out here today?
I'm just making a protest on my own, just to show the people before they vote what they're voting for. To have a good think, and you only have to look at the Children's Hospital. It's gone to 2.4 billion now and rising, and lot of stuff going on that people are not looking at. They should look now before the vote to see who to vote for. We need change. We don't want the same old thing again for the next 5 years.
Is there like, and if you could speak up a little bit even more, just to go right beside the traffic, is there like, there's like an unwillingness to change in Ireland though? You look at the past, it's Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. Why is that?
Because we have to change now, because Fianna Fáil looked after their shower, Fine Gael looked after theirs, right? At the end of the day, the people want change because this has got to stop, you know. Just get on and run the country the way it should be run.
And what way should it be run, do you feel?
It just should be run by honesty. Honesty it should be run by. And not this thing at our shower, their shower. Just run it for the country and nobody else, right?
Seems reasonable. Can I ask who you'll be voting for, or is that personal? Or?
Well, no, I'll be quite honest about it. My first time ever, I voted Fianna Fáil up to 2008. And when the bang came, I went to Fine Gael.
In 2011 you voted?
And I voted Fine Gael, and they're the same as Fianna Fáil. They're just corrupt. So at this time, unfortunately, I'm doing it. I'm voting Sinn Féin. I've been forced to vote Sinn Féin.
I think on this occasion that people are taking their voting more serious. Like heretofore there was a lot of family voting and old voting, like people voted for Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, like their ancestors did. But I think on this occasion people are doing a little more thinking.
A whole lot of them were sound asleep. Some of the developers kept developing, the money kept rolling in.
Well, I'm a retired public servant pension.
Oh yeah?
My pension was cut 6% and I was put into the tax bracket plus the universal service charge. So you could nearly say any bit of money that I had for travelling, which I loved, and to enjoy in my old age was literally taken from me.
The present government are going to take a big hammering. I think the new government are going to be different parties, or maybe different ideas, different plans, you know.
Things may well get a little bit worse before they get better, but you know, I think some states things have to improve.
Well, they've gone through the difficult things of sorting out the economy, which was left in a very bad state, and I know the government have said recovery, not everybody has felt it, but there is green shoots there.
Well, I suppose they've done a lot in one way and they've done very little in other ways. It's an awful pity they couldn't have done more for the homeless.
There was no one called to the House for these elections this time, so a bit disappointing, you know. I expect someone to come, at least you could talk to somebody and something to say to them.
Over the last 5 years, I think the government have done tremendous work in the educational field. But then the other side of the spectrum is the awful homelessness in our country. It seems to have got worse and worse.
So we're rolling now, so if you could just tell us what the major issues for you are in election 2020.
The major issue in any election is the economy, because without the economy you can't have the resources for health and education and police forces and security and public services. So public services depend on the economy and depend on the private sector in the economy, and they depend on the motivation of people by taxation. That'd be my view.
Who's impressed you with the campaign so far in 2020?
Conor Hannon of Aintune.
And what about him or his party have you found?
They are the only party to affirm and protect life at all stages. All the others are pro-abortion.
And there are obviously a lot of issues in election 2020, but is this one of the issues that's close to your heart?
Yes, it's the main issue.
I think housing, Fine Gael haven't really done enough to solve the housing problem. I know it's complex, and I know there are a multiplicity of solutions, which is probably the problem, that they haven't properly maybe identified all of them, or they haven't put enough resources at it, which begs the question, because resources are finite, what suffers if you solve the housing problem? Where do you take the money from? I don't think we can keep on borrowing to solve problems, or even depending on large multinationals to keep on paying the amount of tax that they have been paying.
Very good. And has the housing issue, has that impacted who you vote for today? If that's the main issue you feel?
Not hugely. Not hugely.
What has impressed me? Very little has impressed me, to be honest. I suppose I don't find myself being represented by most of the parties, possibly by any of them, really. So when I go in to vote, I don't see anybody there that I really strongly want to vote for. I also noticed, just coming out of the poll, that of the 13 people I had to vote for, there was one woman, which matters to me, that there is only one, and it surprises me that there's 1 in 13. That's bad. So I am interested in issues like refugee issues. I'm not happy with the way Ireland is treating refugees. I don't think Ireland is doing enough for refugees. We're part of a Europe that's not doing enough, which is not only not doing enough for refugees, but behave, it's incomprehensible how bad things are in relation to those kinds of issues. I'm also interested in sustainable development, but with a strong focus more maybe on people. And I think, while I think climate change is absolutely totally important, and I think it is getting awareness, I also need to think of sustainable development in relation to people who are being affected in different parts of the world. I'm interested in development issues. So I don't often see the kinds of issues that apart from possibly climate change, I don't see the kinds of issues that I'm interested in being represented very much. I'm interested in development, overseas development. I'm interested in communities in Ireland and how they're faring. And I'm also interested in all the other issues that we all are, the situation for older people, lack of care in people's own homes, and all those kinds of issues. I don't think they've been taken in any way seriously in this country in any kind of meaningful way. And there is nobody there that represents my views. Thank you.
Yeah. Who do you feel are the best parties then to vote for in this election?
I don't think there are any. I can't really answer. I don't think there is a best party to vote for. I would do prefer to vote for a party. I prefer not to say specifically who, but I wouldn't be voting for any of the mainstream parties. I wouldn't vote for Fianna Fáil. I wouldn't vote for Fine Gael, I think, and I wouldn't vote for Sinn Féin. So anywhere where I can see any kind of semblance of a left, I'll vote for them. But they're very far and few between, and they're totally not joined up. So there is a problem. I think that Sinn Féin has taken the place maybe of what might be a left, but Sinn Féin isn't necessarily left. I think that it's a complicated situation. We don't have a real proper left in the way I'd like to see one. And I think a lot of Irish people are, certainly socially, are left. I don't know about economically, but certainly are left of centre on many social issues. And I don't think the country is getting what we want somehow. It's just not working for us, and I think we just need to, I'm not quite sure where we're going with it, but I would feel very depressed about who's representing us.
I voted today 1-2 Fianna Fáil. It's time to put them back in power. The last four were a disaster. I don't vote for Sinn Féin because they would wreck the country.
That's it?
That's it.
Democrats with Sinead Halpin.
I felt good voting for a candidate for the first time in the local elections when I voted for Sinead Halpin, and I thought it's time to get involved.
Yeah, it's the same with me. Like growing up, I've never been a party person, and Sinead called to my door during the by-election, and I talked to her, and I did a bit of research on the Social Democrats, what they're about, what the policies are, and I started to feel more engaged. Like I never felt that a party would represent me and what I wanted. So with the Social Democrats, it's just a huge thing that I am now passionate about, because I feel like there is a party now that can represent me and people like me and what I want to see in our country.
Mick Nugent, Director of Elections for Sinn Féin and Cork North Central. Our candidate was Thomas Gould.
And how's the campaign gone for you over the last 3 weeks?
It was a very good campaign. It was very busy, very intense. A lot of ground to try and get covered in a short enough period of time. I suppose we had some advantage in that Thomas had been a candidate in the by-election in last November. So there was that bit of recognition factor there. So we're very happy with a very good campaign. We covered as much as we could in it.
And what are the main issues people were kind of talking to you about at the doors?
I think a lot of issues in the campaign were probably current in a lot of constituencies around housing and health, community safety, crime. And in Cork North Central, the feeling there perhaps that the area has been neglected over the years. A lot of people looking for change. Change was a huge thing. People were fed up with the status quo, and the government, Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil, supported them. And we're looking for someone that would stand up for them, stand up for the communities across the north side, across Cork North Central, and even areas in the south side are part of North Central constituency. And I think they saw in Sinn Féin and Thomas Gould as someone that would stand up for them.
So who's going to be in government in 2 weeks?
Look,
take a guess.
It's hard to know. I think on the media are saying, it could be a home Doyle. Mary Lou MacDonald said, she wouldn't be waiting for people to ring her, that she would ring other party leaders, and we'd have to see. But for me, what I would always tell voters, it's not a case of being in government for government's sake or rushing into government. It'd have to be on the basis of a real Republican programme for government. Look, we've a long day, a couple of days to go to see exactly how the seats will play out, and we'll see where we are and where the other parties are. But we're just today, and we're just I suppose very happy we've got the support of the people across the state who supported Sinn Féin and where Sinn Féin stands.
Davy Hannah 1350. Deneen Body 42 Land. Donovan John 103. Kennedy Kira 1263. Martin Lee Hall 11,023, 11023. McGrath Michael 9,236, 9236. Murray Walsh Bobby 764, 764. O'Brien William 202, 202. O'Dwyer Patricia, Social Democrats 1077, 1077. O'Leary Connolly 14,057, 14057. O'Leary Sean 102. Osode Rizwana O'Leary, Tretan Kota, Haru, Killingu, Sheprofa. But O'Leary with 14,057 voters having exceeded the quota is deemed to be elected.
going to get into picking between the two. As far as I'm concerned, there's no paper, sheet of paper of a difference in policy between them. They have been in government together, so I'm not going to get into whether Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael or anything like that. I do think, though, that Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael together is the worst potential outcome. And I think what we do need, if we really want to see the housing crisis solved, if we really want to see tackling the crisis in our hospitals, then we need Sinn Féin in government.
A lot of people say that we